Hello everybody, it's me, the Real Local Maniac. I'm back again with another game review. Now guys, first of all, I'd quickly like to apologise for the quality of this game footage. It's not going to be fantastic, but that's because I'm filming it on my Mac's little capture cam thing that it's got, so you can chat online, but so I'm just pointing that towards the TV screen while I'm playing it. I will sort of get myself a proper capture card at some point so I can record some proper, quality footage. But for the time being, that's all I've got, so hey, I just have to make do. Now, the reason why I've decided to film some of my Xbox 360 games is because I normally do my retro games, everything from the 8-bit wars where I compare the arcade games to the three popular home computers, which are the Spectrum, Amstrad and the Commodore 64. I also do other video reviews which are the Sega Master System, Nintendo. I also do other things like the Sega Mega Drive and so on. But unfortunately, the laptop I've got is not working at the moment. It's very temperamental. It works when it wants to work, so I'm going to let it sort of chill out for a little bit, and hopefully in about a week's time it will actually let me record some footage. If not, I'll probably have to fork out for some more money for another laptop. But anyway, the game I'm doing today, guys, is the classic, amazing game on the 360, which is Gears of War. Now, this was the second game I actually ever got on my Xbox 360, and I tell you what, this is probably one of those games that made an impression more so than pretty much any other game out there. Now, I'd never really been a big fan of these shoot 'em up games, and I tell you what, I played this at a friend's house. I saw it. I thought, to hell with it, I have to run down to the shop and actually get it. And what appealed to me so much was the graphics. First of all, I've got to be honest, it was the graphics. It was a huge jump in sort of graphics from what I was used to, because at the time pretty much all I owned was a PS2, and there was nothing quite like this on it. This just basically blew everything apart graphic wise that I knew. So I thought, well, I've got to get it, and I sat down, played this game properly in campaign mode, and like, wow, I mean, I was completely blown away by the chunkiness of the graphics, by the detail, by just the style of the graphics as well. It was just absolutely amazing. The other thing I quite liked about this game as well was it was the control system. It was so easy to maneuver your character, so easy to sort of like duck and cover there. I mean, all you had to do was press the green button, run against the wall, and you would sort of automatically duck. And it felt very instinctive, if you know what I mean. And it felt nice killing those baddies, because those baddies did look like some bad motherfuckers. They were just, I don't know, they were fun to kill actually, because they looked like a proper good enemy to kill. And what I also like about this game as well, it really felt like action-packed. Now, I'm a big action movie fan from the sort of like the 80s. I love my sort of like Arnold Schwarzenegger films and so on. And this kind of sort of made me feel like I was in one of those films. It felt like a big blockbuster style film, this game did. It kind of reminds me the characters from the film Predator, that sort of camaraderie, like what the Arnold had with Jesse Ventura and co in that film. This game, it really is like one of the machoest films I've actually ever played. It really is a badass game. Oh man, I recorded this earlier on, and I realised I was facing the wrong direction. I was preparing to blow those guys up with a frag grenade thing, and unfortunately, I was facing the wrong bloody way. So this time, see, they're sort of burning through it there. I'm gonna sort of get my little grenade out by pushing up on the D-pad, and then just the trigger of the button to let go, and hopefully it should blow them up. There we go, throw it. Kill both of them in one go. And that's what I love about this game. It's just the pure simplicity of it. Now guys, I've got to say, and I know I mentioned slightly earlier on, that it's not the best quality footage I've got here. It really isn't. And again, that's because I'm not using a capture card. I'm just pointing my camera towards the TV. But this video, I don't know, I've got to admit, it's not really doing this game any justice graphic-wise, because this game really needs to be played on a big sort of 40-inch sort of like high-definition TV, because the graphics are just unbelievable. Just all the little details. And another great way to play this as well is with a great sound system. You know, just turn up the sound, turn off the lights, and I'll tell you what, this game is absolutely classic. Now, when I first played this game, I basically pretty much played it from start to finish in campaign, and it took me a while to finish. You know, some of the later levels were slightly tricky, but I truly enjoyed it. And after that, I started playing a co-op campaign, which was another fantastic way to play the game. Because, I mean, what better way to play an amazing game like this, but with a friend? So sometimes, you know, one of my friends would come round and would sort of like do a few levels here and there. You know, whenever he could come round, we'd play that way. Or sometimes I'd play one of my other friends online. And it was just a great way of having a teammate to sort of like be your wingman. You know, if you're in trouble, you'd just duck for cover and you'd be shooting away. And it was just a great feeling. Now, what was the other thing I liked about this game as well? Yeah, the other multiplayer aspects. I mean, you could sort of play in teams of 3 or 4. I'm not too sure actually. But some of you could play the gears. The other guys could play the baddies. I can't remember what the baddies are called, but I had hours of fun playing that online, and it was just so much fun. I remember first playing this online, and I was like, wow, you know. And at the time, we were playing a bunch of other guys online who were really really good, and they were kicking our asses. They really were. And the more I played it, I would say the better I got, but I'd be lying. The luckier I got actually, or maybe it was the fact that I had a decent team actually who'd save my ass. But yeah, guys, this is just an epic game, you know. It really is. I mean, if for whatever reason you've never played this game, I highly recommend it. I mean, you can get this game dirt cheap now in like in pretty much any shop. And yeah, you know, I'd like to mention my podcasting co-host Phil from the 1 Hour Monthly Podcast Show. Now, he hates the Xbox 360. Why? You know what? Because he hasn't got one, and it's just a whole fanboyism of having a PS3. You know what? I've got nothing bad to say about a PS3. I love gaming and consoles altogether, and I probably will get myself a PS3 at some point. But Phil, if you ever watch this video, do yourself a favor, mate. Get yourself an Xbox 360, sit down and play Gears of War, and I'll tell you what, you will really appreciate how good of a console and how good of a game this actually is. Speaking about a Phil on the 1 Hour Monthly Podcast Show, guys, the next episode of the 1 Hour Monthly Podcast Show will be ready for the 25th of May. We'll also be announcing the winner of the Who Wins the Dizzy Mug competitions on that very same day. And then later on, I'll post the Dizzy Mug, the Dizzy Loading Screen mugs. Now, guys, you've still got time to actually win those Dizzy mugs. You've got until the 25th, basically. Probably the first thing in the morning, because that's when me and Phil do the podcast. So yeah, if you still haven't tried out the pitch of that competition on the 1 Hour Monthly Podcast Show site, go and check it out. Man, this game is epic. Now, before I go, I'd like to mention question of the day. Now, I am a big fan of my action movies and so on. So, question of the day is, what is your favourite action movie? I mean, my answer to that probably has to be Predator, because what a badass film that was. And I've got to admit, this game did take many of those classic, you know, action-packed elements from that. More so in the second game, actually, which is a fantastic game, guys. It really is. So yeah, that's question of the day. But I've got to admit, guys, these sort of games have really gone a long way from what I'm used to, because I've never really been a big fan of this sort of genre. The games I have played, you know, just pale in comparison to this. I mean, what shoot 'em ups had I played? I played Duke Nukem, Doom. I played, I think, the first Quake. What's the other one I had played? GoldenEye, which was alright. Time Splitters. Played some of the Medal of Honor games on the PS2, but to be honest with you guys, nothing has captured me in a way that this game did when I first played it. So it just completely blew me away. Totally. This really is just like a beautiful looking game. And I think it's aged pretty well, you know. And many games since then have tried to capture that sort of like look that this game has. You know, just the colours, the style. Yep, this is a badass game. Anyway, guys, I'm the real